comedy has died. Can one rom-com bring it back? Be prepared to watch a drunken loser and his degenerate toxic friend talk about a film that critics are giving bad reviews. But of course, audiences are loving it, so it must be pretty good. Come and join us as we give our thoughts on the latest R-rated comedy, Anyone But You. This time, it's personal.
I had so much fun making it.
The old trailer guy would be very proud of you.
I know.
He would be so proud. Or he's rolling over in his grave.
I love the fact that Northern English Bachelor's like, who the hell's voice is that? And I'm like,
That's my
see,
COVID voice, bro.
that is, it's like I said, I either have COVID or I have a cold, but either way, I have so much alcohol in me, I have no symptoms, so it's
That's
great.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, for this, I bought I unleashed a brand new shirt, and it says right here, "Boobies make me smile," because they do.
They do make us smile, don't
And
they? They make us
especially,
smile.
I got home 20 minutes ago. I stopped at the liquor store, but after seeing this film, boobies damn sure make me smile. So
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of them in there.
you showed Tid. It was nice. Yes. Nick, I mean, you got like 20 messages here, but yes, it's so funny where I said you were running late because of maybe a tornado and rain warning, and Nick's was like, well, it's lucky. Was it lucky for the tornado? There it goes. Didn't meet Lord Toxic.
You're damn right. You're
Yeah.
damn right.
So yeah, so we decided to make a new playlist, and thanks for this was actually your idea. And I said sometimes you do show your skills as being a writer, and
Oh,
we're calling this low bar movie reviews because it's a double entendre.
right.
Because the bar is pretty low. But usually we can't do movie reactions because everyone's schedule. And I want to
Mhm.
ask you, like this week, so I saw Rebel Moon with Dark Hour, I
Yes.
saw Aquaman 2, Iron Claw
Yes.
yesterday, and now I wasn't gonna see this until you recommended you wanted to see it as well. But out of everything that came out this past week, I'm not complaining, but what was your
Yeah.
motivation to want to watch this? Because like we did this once with Equalizer, but we didn't take it too
Yeah.
seriously. So because we're both fans of Denzel and Equalizer, but like
Yeah.
why everything that came out this week, why this one for?
Well, a couple reasons. One is because this is the kind of thing that you can see in the holidays, shut your brain off, and kind of just sit back and just watch some eye candy and beautiful scenery, and
Mm,
and it's not it's definitely low effort. I mean, I'm not going to shit anybody and say it's great. It's not even the best of what's his name, Gluck, the guy that does this. It's not even the best of his movies. But it's actually the worst. But it's one of those things. And then why I saw it was just because I managed to sneak away early from work, and I went down to the cinema because I never get to go anymore. And I was
yeah.
like, you know what? I have a choice. Because I was going to go off of one of your recommendations, and
Mm,
then I was like, you know what? Let me pop in and see this. It's
yeah.
like none of you know, nothing would indicate that, but I'm actually sort of a rom-com fan if they're done in
Yeah.
a certain way. You know what I mean?
I
So,
mean, that's fair. I grew up, I'm an 80s baby, 80s, 90s, 2000s. There's plenty of
uh-huh.
rom-coms that I've liked over the years. Like rom-coms, like any genre can work. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
impossible
yeah,
to make
yeah.
not every rom-com is terrible. I mean, yes, I would say as we discussed this, every rom-com has a formula. But you know what? So doesn't action films, so don't horror films, so don't fucking documentaries. Every genre has a formula. This damn sure has a formula, but that's a
Yeah.
genre. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah,
was
oh, it's definitely formulaic. I'm not gonna
oh yeah.
listen, I am not gonna sugarcoat this by any degree. I'm gonna tell you
Mhm.
how it is.
I'm not
And
oh,
just
yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
go you wanna do your thing? Do
Oh,
your
no, I
thing,
was gonna
bro.
say, everyone I know it's only Nick's and Enzo, but, and anybody watching the replay, we do plan on spoiling the hell out of this, but also I wanna
Yes.
tell you guys before we spoil things, it's a rom-com with 2 good-looking characters. What do you think's
Mhm.
gonna happen at the fucking end? I mean, like,
Right.
if you're watching a rom-com expecting these 2 not to fuck and eventually hook up, then you've
Yeah.
been absent from cinema for the past 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, yes, I was gonna do this for Enzo's stream, but I bought 2 things, but on the way home, I got this, check this out.
What you got?
Midnight Moonshine Chocolate Brownie.
Hmm.
So,
That's
I'm not gonna drink all of it with you because 'cause I'm gonna save some
interesting.
for Enzo, but,
Sure, sure.
plus I still have my Regal cup, which I'm gonna mix with some vodka, and I'd still have the free refills, guys. But
Disturbing, but okay. All
it's
right. Fair
it's
enough.
moonshine. It says, look, it says it's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
How bad
Okay.
how
Well,
bad could it be?
yeah, I don't know. North Carolina, first in flight, last in education. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that. So, but yeah, cool. Cool,
It's
cool,
strong.
cool.
It's strong, but that shit's good.
I bet it is. I
Oh
bet
yeah,
it
it's
fucking
chocolate
is.
brownie, boys. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, but and I'm a big fan of Will Gluck, the guy that does this movies.
Thank you, Nick. I mean, that's it's true.
uh, I love Fired Up. I love Easy A. I really like Friends with Benefits.
I like
Um,
it's
yeah, they're all great movies. And they're pretty formulaic as well.
yeah, definitely.
I do like this, and my reasoning for this is one, I know you're going to see everything, right? So I know that because you got the Regal app. There you go, promotional.
Which I had the Regal Cup right here too. So
Yep, promotional kudos to Regal Cinemas. So I know you have the Regal app. I just use my military discount, and I was just like, you know what? If he decides to see this, let me collab with Blue, and let's see what the other person says about it. And I'm actually really curious to know
yeah,
what your opinion. So yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to do this, and we haven't done this since Equalizer 3, which was what 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
it's been yeah. Wow, time's flying, bro. Shit.
Yeah, this year flew
And
by.
as I made my fake funny trailer, so I said right here, not that it means something, but hey, whatever. Usually, when especially comes to comedies, when critics hate it and audiences love it, that means I want to see it.
Right. And
Simple as that.
that kind of the way that we look at how well a movie does, and we go, well, was the theater empty? The theater was full when I went in, and it was the last showing of
Yeah.
the night on a freaking Friday.
Yeah.
So,
Now for me, because it's 4:30 now, but like I caught a, of course,
or excuse me, Saturday. I'm sorry, it's Saturday.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But laughing too. So like I told you, now my area it says 1:20 p.m. Right? No
Mhm.
bullshit. The rule is I get there 15 minutes late. I got there 15
Yes.
minutes late, and still
Yes.
15 minutes late. 15
Yes.
more minutes of fucking
Yes.
trailers. It was a half
Yes.
hour of trailers. I'm like, that's why I
Yeah.
made this shit for 4:30, not
Yeah.
4 o'clock. I'm like, a
Yeah.
half hour of fucking previews.
Right.
Jesus.
As a theater kid that I was young, and before I joined the military, I worked at a movie theater and a bar, and what was supposed to be, and I used to work for Regal. What their policy used to be, if it's advertised at 4 o'clock, it will start no later than 4:15. Doesn't matter how many previews. So if it's got like 10 previews, they'd have to time it in such a way that no matter what, the opening scrawl or whatever you want to call it, that thing, the roller coaster thing, would start. Yeah, no, we're not shills by any means. Uh
I'm
but
so Nick.
we're gonna shit on this a little bit, Nick, just so you know.
Oh
At
yeah,
least
definitely.
I've got
Trust
some
me.
major problems with this
I put
movie.
my phone on low setting, but right here, this is all the fucking notes I was taking watching this movie. So it's like I'm like, yeah, I got about 20
Yeah.
pages of fucking notes, and I'm just like, just for here.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's kind of fallen by the wayside now. Now they just fucking the movie starts willy nilly whenever. So
Yeah, buddy. Um, yeah. So yeah, but we were saying well, yeah, so rom-com, anyone but you. Like I said, we watch other people on YouTube. Obviously, I watch Critical Drinker, and it's cool seeing. I said I like the guy Chris Gore. He does Film Threat. It's funny where Chris is almost like his co-host is like how we are. Chris gave it high praise. His co-host didn't like it as much, but still gave it high praise. But
Okay.
I did see some people say it was funnier than they expected, and
I have avoided the reviews of it because I didn't want it to sour. I will look at them now after we do this.
yeah,
Your opinion was the only opinion I really
yeah,
cared about. So I
yeah.
just, I've
Well,
avoided it before now. So, but yeah, go ahead.
off the bat, first thing I'm going to say, like to what Chris Gore said, and again, something, and I'm liking to, with talking to our critical drinker group, that Chris Gore, he's got this way about him where Chris is just a humble, like down to earth kind of guy. When he likes something, he kind of makes you want to like it as well. And
Okay.
one of the things that he said, I love this, was that this girl, her here, Sydney Sweetie, this right here is her the entire film.
I
Which
mean,
which,
it
you know
is.
what?
It
Thank you
is.
for your service, okay? Because
Yeah.
that's her, and she doesn't wear a bra the whole fucking film. Every single shirt and
Yeah.
outfit looks just like this. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I was very happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Sydney
um,
Sweeney is amazing.
yeah. So I don't know much. I don't have Google. That's all I'm using right here. So I don't know
Okay.
much about her filmography. I mean, I guess she's upcoming in Madam Web, and I mean Euphoria. I wasn't
Yeah.
into, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The White Lotus, I didn't see, so I don't know much
Yeah.
about her. But okay, and
I've
she's
pretty much seen everything that she's been in, and she's
okay.
been great in everything that I've seen her
Yeah.
in.
And our
So,
boy here, Glenn Powell, I only know him
mhm.
personally from Top Gun Maverick, and here's a spot right here. I guess he was in Dark Knight Rises, but okay. Upcoming, which is Weird Twisters, the friggin' sequel to Twister, which oh, Christ, man, but
Oh,
sure.
are they doing that? Is that a
Oh,
thing?
officially right there. He's gonna be in it. It's Helen Hunt's gonna come back, I guess,
Oh
because of
god.
course you can't bring back.
He's gonna wind up being their kid or something, I
Probably,
bet. Or
yeah, because well, he's the right age. I mean, but also he was in Hitman, so Hidden Figures. But whenever you're ready to the rest of the cast, I got them all up here in Google. So,
who the
but
hell was he in Dark Knight Rises? That's
I
weird.
can't think of that. I mean, I'm sure maybe next with me or somebody in the group, but yeah.
Wow.
And what I will do is, of course, with any kind of footage and stuff, I will when I can for trailers, I'll show us like basically 6-second trailer clips, and we'll see how it goes with that.
Okay.
But so I would say, how do you want? Well, let's just I guess I'm just gonna go through how the film starts off. So the film starts off
Sure.
with a character. Her name is Beatrice, but they call her B the entire film.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and Beatrice, she has to go to the bathroom. Off the bat, though, I was giggling because during this week I did go to New York City, hung out with Dark Hour, and it is one of them things where no bullshit, dude. I stopped in 6 different stores, and everybody said, "Where's your receipt for what? To use the bathroom? I have to buy something. You have to buy something to go pee." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying you $5 to go piss, dude. Like I'm about to go outside in fucking Times Square on the side of a building, whip it out,
Right.
and I eventually
Right. Pull a Big Daddy and just be like, "Yeah, I guess it's not your problem now, is it?" And
like
just
when
piss on the
I'm
wall.
watching this film, she's in like basically like a bullshit Starbucks, and she can't use the fucking bathroom until like her order.
Right.
So she wants to buy some bread, and she's waiting and waiting, and then off the bat, Ben here, he's in line. He calls her his fake wife, and hey, come out and I'm paying for her stuff. She can use the bathroom. But
Yeah.
that scene right there was pretty funny because what does she do? She goes pee, and
Yeah.
she starts to freaking dry herself off. All the water hits her in the fucking crotch. And
Yes.
now her jeans are covered in water.
Yeah.
It looks like she pissed herself, and then she's up there. The physical comedy was funny because she gets up onto the freaking
She
sink.
she can pull, yeah, she pulls a lot of good physical comedy. When she pulled her pants off and put them on the air dryer, I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay, okay, I see what we're doing here." See,
yeah,
she plays the cute, clumsy girl very
yeah.
well.
Yeah, and then what she's doing is, at one point, because it's like it's not working, so she's talking to him through the door. She pulls off her freaking jeans. She's got her jeans inside the air dryer and stuff. She's blowing it out and everything. But I think my first, like, I wouldn't say eye roll, but like, I get it's a rom-com. You try and be like people that are relatable, but it's
Okay.
kind of annoying when good-looking people like her. She's all nervous and stuff, and she's trying to be around him and calling her friend on the phone. Oh my god, I met a guy, and it's like I'm scared and like, sweetheart, look at you, okay?
Well,
What do you have to be nervous about?
she
Look
okay,
at her.
but she has that kind of face that if she does her face up, she's stunning, and if she wears a certain thing, but like if she goes frumpy, she can pull off frumpy. She did a HBO movie based on an actual person, and it she's very frumpy in it, and
Okay.
she's very believable. Like she's able to tone it down.
Mm,
And I think I don't know, and I'm not going to defend this movie, but I think the Madam Web thing. I think the reason why her beautiful mommy milkers are not shown in that because I
mm,
think it's going to be something that pops up later when she wears the Spider Woman outfit.
mm,
So, and she did a limited series on HBO called Sharp Objects based on Gillian Flynn's novel, and she's very frumpy in that as well because she plays a drug addict that's in a mental hospital with the main character, and she's almost unrecognizable. So she can kind of pull that off. She's not the most beautiful woman. She's just got a banging body, and when she does herself up, she's very gorgeous. But
like,
Glenn Powell
dresses
looks
like that
like
right there. Jesus. Yeah.
Glenn Powell, who plays what's his name in this movie?
Ben.
Who plays Ben in the movie, the love interest. He is. I mean, listen, man. I'm not gay, but like, dude,
I mean, well,
he's got a 10 pack. I mean,
yeah,
he's amazing. I mean, he is like super duper alpha
yeah.
sigma male, hot, and he's charming as fuck.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny
and on
that
top of everything else, has a bunch of money. So,
yeah, what's funny you mentioned the 10 pack. That's a joke later on. Actually, this scene with the boat, but yeah. So they just she's like, was it? She's about to walk away. He's looking at her and like, He's like, well, what's going on? He calls her his wife, and she turns around. She's got some toilet paper stuck on her shoes, and then she turns around and she's like, "Are you gonna ask me out?" And yeah, so he asks her out and he mentions grilled cheese. It's grilled cheese night, and they hang out. They go back to his place, and they just have like the whole montage where they're talking and
yeah.
getting to know each other.
It's
And
the classic meet cute. It's the
yeah,
classic
definitely,
meet cute in the rom-coms. And I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, listen, even my cold dead heart, I had a smile on my face through the whole thing. I liked everything that they were doing. I liked how they had instant chemistry, both on screen and apparently off screen. And a lot of these romantic like the the other movie in this series of Will Gluck rom-coms,
yeah,
Friends with Benefits. I don't believe
mm,
Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake. They were both very charming and very good looking, but I
yeah,
don't believe them. I don't believe them in the roles.
mm,
But it's just, I mean, it was still a good movie, but these guys, I bought it hook, line, and sinker right away,
yeah.
so for whatever that's worth.
All right. So, yeah, when they hang out, so they go back to his place. They wind up falling asleep together, and they wake up and they're on his couch, and they're both fully clothed. So I'm telling myself, that, okay, they're both wearing clothes, so they probably didn't sleep together, and they didn't.
Right.
They actually. So she gets up and she's like, at this point, I guess I was telling myself initially she didn't want to be rude, but just she was kind of panicking and just, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna leave, and then she
Yeah.
falls down. He wakes up and hears her, but like, what's she doing? And she sneaks out of his place. So
Yep.
almost like
Yeah,
maybe
she does.
she's embarrassed to be there. And
Right.
that now she's talking to her friend on the phone, like, "Oh, met this guy, had a great time. I kind of left, it was kind of messed up, but maybe I should go back." What happens? He has a roommate. Oh, also too, he has a big ass wrench, and he's talking to her about this big wrench and what he's doing with his life. And he just says that this wrench was something that his mother left to him, and it reminded him of his mother who passed away. And so basically, when he wakes up, he's talking to his roommate. He's got a black roommate. Which, see if I can find this guy. Find a second, but he's got a roommate. His roommate's like, "Oh, dude," he's like, "You spent the night with this chick, and you pulled out the wrench, and your mom." He's like, "You never do that for anybody." And, yeah, this guy here gotta. So he's like,
Ugh,
"Dude,
hate this guy.
yeah,
Hate,
he's annoying."
hate.
But
We're gonna get this after or Blue Collar wraps up his overview of the movie. I'm gonna really dig into some of these side
yeah,
characters because they are the. But go
mm.
ahead. I don't want to derail
Oh
you.
no.
Go ahead.
So he tells his friend that his friend wakes up and like said, told about your mother, had the wrench, and now he's kind of, hurt. He thinks they had a good night together. She got up and just ghosted him, and he's kind of pissed off. And she's walking back to his place, and it's just weird how the door's open. So the door is open, and she looks up, and he's telling his buddy here, "Hey, you know what, man? He's just I didn't care much about her and stuff. I'm glad she got out of here. She was so freaking annoying. Just, good riddance." And she hears that, and she's like, "Oh." So she walks away like all heartbroken and shit. So all right.
Yeah.
But in his defense, he was saying it out of anger, but you kind of just up and left the guy hanging. So what do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, we're not sure how much time passes, but was it like maybe like a year or so? And we show up to a bar. There's a bar scene, and you have everyone showing up. Now we have Ben. He has his best friend, and his best friend's a lesbian, and she has a lesbian girlfriend. Okay, things are kind of getting kind of serious, and they're all having a party. And then the other lesbian, the white chick, let's see, actually she's right there, Hadley Robinson. So she's the girlfriend, and she's like, guess what? My sister's gonna pop up. Who's her sister? Her sister just happens to be Beatrice.
Mm,
And boy, that's a
mm,
very, very uncomfortable scene because like Ben
yes.
and Beatrice look at each other and like, hey, like, you know each other? Briefly. They have a quick like, tit for tat, but just he's like, "Hey, so what's going on? He's still doing this whole lawyer thing." And he's like, asked her about like leaving and stuff, getting up unannounced, and she gets really defensive, and she's throwing it back at him about, because she overheard him say that she was a mistake and stuff. And she's like, "Oh, well, I just don't want to be a burden. I guess like it was time for me to get out of there." So
Yeah.
basically after that, some more time passes. We come to find out that so this chick Alexandria here, she is his friend, and
Mm,
so what they're going to do is they're going to have a wedding, a lesbian wedding. okay, it's 2023. I would assume with you having a lesbian wedding in 2023, I wouldn't call woke because it's 2023, and two women getting married.
I would.
Really?
I would. Oh yeah. 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 We'll get to it. We're
Yeah.
gonna get to it.
But just the point.
Believe
I mean,
that.
but the point is,
Believe that we're
well,
gonna get
definitely.
to
But nowadays there is more gay weddings than there would be 10, 15, 20
it.
years ago. I
Uh,
just, I wouldn't say it's woke to have a gay wedding. I mean, it's not like it's, I mean, come on, yeah, Chuck and Larry with Adam Sandler was fucking hilarious, but
yeah, that wasn't real. They weren't really gay
well,
though.
yeah,
I mean, that's
well,
fine.
no,
But okay.
but
Go
yeah.
ahead. Go
So,
ahead.
so the
Go
point
ahead.
is after that, so they have to get a wedding in Australia. Okay, so they want everybody to show up and go to Australia. After that, we get a scene where basically these two, Ben meets Beatrice on the plane. As soon as he sees her, he's pissed off. He's angry. He's like, "Yeah, what are you doing here?" At this point, though, I definitely would say he's got some kind of grown up to do because he sees her, he just goes right at her, like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing here?" and stuff. It's a small plane, and just he starts fucking insulting her constantly. And I'm telling
Mm,
myself, dude, I get you're mad and everything. It's been some time. Okay, what she did was messed up. She got up, she left, but like at some point, let it go. I mean, it's not like you slept with her. You guys weren't in a long term relationship. She got up and left. Just stop constantly jabbing at her and shit. But
mm.
it is pretty funny because like, what was it? You come to find out that she had a fiance, but she broke up with her fiance, and
Yes,
that's the
they were on a
break.
break.
Yeah, on a
They were
break.
on
Yep.
a break.
Yeah. Let's see. He's like, I call it woke because they pass it as such a law, but when a wedding's between who wants and consents to, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was a big, I guess, part of the storyline, but yeah. So,
I mean, that's where the
um,
entire movie takes place is at the wedding, but
yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, the whole point of the film is between these two, though, Beatrice and Ben. They're the focus of, that's to
Mm,
anyone but you.
yeah.
So, I think a pretty good comedy scene is so friggin' she wakes up and stuff on the plane and she has to go to the bathroom again. Bathrooms are occupied. She has to go to the front bathroom. She looks over and she sees Ben sleeping and he's snoring. And she looks over, sees his cookie. I think it's kind of weird. You just see a person's cookie and she crawls over to bite it and she bites into it and her sweater gets stuck.
Yes.
And at that point,
We've well established at this point that she's extremely accident prone. That's
yeah,
like the running joke. And it's more of a show don't tell because they don't say, "Oh, B, she's so accident prone." There's no dialogue like that, which was what I was cringe waiting for, but it didn't
yeah,
happen. They just keep showing
yeah,
that like even though she's this fucking blonde bombshell, she just is very
yeah.
accident prone.
Yeah, and she notices while he's snoring, we're hearing this song on his headphones. And trust me, as Enzo once said, when certain movies get licensed into a song, they kind of
Yes.
abuse it, and you're gonna hear "Unwritten"
Oh,
about 600 times
7
during this.
times. Yeah, it's really if you don't like this song Unwritten, it's gonna be like A Pocket Full of Sunshine and Easy A,
I can
also
still
done
hear
by
it.
Will Gluck.
Yeah,
If you don't like, I remember when we rented Easy A when it came out on DVD. Me and all my roommates and basically everybody in my army squad were running around saying singing that song because
yeah,
it was just a pocket full of sunshine. So this song is also
yeah.
very heavy. So if you don't like that song, maybe don't even watch this movie.
So I'm pretty sure
Probably.
here I'll show a quick 6 seconds because this is trailer footage, but also this is the part I'm talking about right here. So
Okay.
Headed to the wedding?
Of my sister? Yes, I am.
So where's your fiance? Wait, is this him? Hey, I'm Ben. I was from.
those are hall pass break.
This
Yeah,
poor old
and
guy. This poor old guy was just like, "Look, man, I'm just trying to
yeah,
fly. I'm just trying to be on this flight." Like, seriously. This is when this is the point in the movie when you're gonna see because it's rated R. Man, they steer into the skid heavy with the word "fuck." It's like
yes, they
fuck
do.
every other word in this movie. Like they really go heavy with the fuck.
Yeah.
So
I'll try to show more here. She's like, he said, "You want to think from the front?" And see, she talks about his, of course, what every chick's got to do.
And small, thick insecurity.
Nothing small about me. What the?
yeah,
Old man's like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
Yeah,
Very, very Lord of Toxicity ish.
yeah,
I like it. I'm here for it all
yeah,
day. I'm here for it all day, Glenn Powell. You gorgeous Greek
yep.
god, you.
So okay, so we find out. So they land in Australia. Okay, wedding party. Well, come to find out that his best friend, the black dude, Dare, is saying that. Well, the family wants everybody to be sharing a freaking house together, and of course, Beatrice is like, you should have told this stuff ahead of time. He goes, well, both families know you guys hate each other, so they didn't want to make it worse than what it is. But yeah, so these two are going to be stuck, like basically for the weekend, like bunking together, and like they're not happy because they still fucking hate each other. So let's see. Looking down, playing together. Okay, so then we get to see they're on the beach, they're having exchanges, they're talking, and we get to see his this woman that he dated. Over here, Charlie Fraser. So she plays Margaret, and wow, she's an Australian model. Okay, so she is Ben's ex-girlfriend. Apparently, Ben was freaking dating her for a little time, and she broke up with Ben. What an idiot, right?
What an idiot. Boy, you fucked
Yeah.
up, girl. How could you leave this gorgeous creature?
And I do like though, as he's walking to Margaret, she gets up and stuff, and she's topless. Okay, she's
Yes, she is.
she's not wearing a bra, and she's just talking to Ben, shaking. Apparently, too, she has a new boyfriend, and she has a new Australian boyfriend, which he's
Which of
funny
course she
when he's funny when he's in it. So, and that's basically just okay. So he sees his ex-girlfriend here. And see Beatrice. So at one point we look over to Beatrice, and she has she's looking on her laptop, and she was going to law school.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. So I guess let's see. She's going to law school. She withdraw law school. That becomes a problem later on with the film. So what's we going to talk about? But shit, what was going on? Anything you want to add to that?
I mean, this is setting it up so that Ben is a winner at life, but he's a loser in the romantic game. She's been pretty comfortable in a relationship, like maybe the only one relationship. She's been very sheltered, but she's kind of losing at adulting. She's not sure if she wants to get into being an attorney. She's not sure if she wants to get into that kind of. So she's kind of like a big hot mess. He may have his shit together, but he's kind of emotionally closed off, and that whole thing. I mean, it's basically only going to be one or two things. Either you're going to have the manic pixie dream girl type, character, or she's the businesswoman, and then the guy will be, it's never going to be both like highly successful, because it doesn't work. I think that was the problem with Will Gluck's Friends with Benefits, because they were both, kind of sharks as far as like business people. They Mila Kunis's character and Justin Timberlake's character were both highly motivated, highly successful people, and neither one of them had a but then again, maybe I've also heard some people like it because of that, because they're not doing the opposites attract. But this is totally leaning into the opposites attract type thing. Like she's an emotional and as far as adulting and doing her career stuff, hot mess. Whereas he is, he might have his shit together in life, but the fact that he got his heart broken when he like opened up like one time, and then we can assume or headcanon that the Australian chick had broke his heart right before he met B. So that's why when B snuck out, that really hurt his feelings. A lot of this is going to be depending on the plot contrivance of whether or not you can accept, the makeup breakup thing. I mean, they don't spend the whole movie hating each other. In fact, it sort of subverts expectations by it. At the beginning, they really like each other. And then they hate each other, and then they kind of come to a bit of an understanding, and it seems like but because they're so attracted to each other, and because there is such a connection and energy with the two of them, that you kind of see where it's going. But it almost lulls you into believing that maybe he will, have a thing for the ex. Although I will tell you that they bring in Beatrice's ex, the parents do, and I never for 1 second believed that shit was going to happen again. That was never. I mean, this dude is the biggest soy boy cuck beta, like loser friend zone douche waffle that I've ever seen in a movie or a TV show. Like he just walks around with, beta cuck written on his shirt. Like it's crazy.
Here's Margaret right here. Ben's ex. Say,
What's going on over there? They dated. She crushed his heart.
Yep.
That man does not have a heart.
Ooh, again, just throwing jabs,
Throwing jabs.
So yeah, like you said, so pretty quick, they come back and come to find out that Jonathan is her ex-fiance, and the parents invited him, but they said, he's part of the family. He's liked you since he was 11, so your sister wanted him here, and okay. And
Yeah.
as you were saying, like, so the family from there, they start playing basically charades, and I
Yes.
just can't help it because I was worried about this going into a comedy.
Uh-huh.
How many times we all gonna say the fact that the past 10, 15, 20 years, you can't say this, can't do that, can't make fun of people.
Uh-huh.
It's whenever you see the black dude in a modern 2023 comedy, I don't
Uh-huh.
mind it, but the first thing he says to his dad, he's like, "Damn, what the hell's with you white people in charades, man?" He's like, just
Yes.
say it.
Oh God.
And he does
Listen.
make later on, he tells fucking, Ben, he's like, "Man, what's up with," he's like, "Dude, you have that white boy vibe." And I'm like, it's funny. I like comedy, but I'm like, it's always funny how that comedy works one way.
Right. Right. And it wasn't always like that too. They've done stuff in the past where comedies can poke fun at the black people, but definitely not in this. Yeah. Listen, if you have a low tolerance or even like a zero tolerance for wokeness in your shit, do not watch this movie because you're not going to like it because it is 2023, from everything from the lesbian marriage to
Yeah,
the obligatory black character whose parents are mixed race,
yeah,
but the brother sister are dark as fuck. So the sister
yeah,
actually was Alexandra Shipp. She was actually Storm from Africa in the X-Men prequels.
hmm,
So she's
yeah.
she's very she's very dark. The brother's very dark, but yet Brian Bloom from Cocktail plays the dad. And then they have a light-skinned black mom who was a big noise back in the 80s. I don't know her name off the top of my head. But
I'll find it for you.
both of these kids, and the brother is obnoxious as fuck.
Oh yeah,
Like
the
every
mom is.
time.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'll say
The
the
mom is
mom is Michelle Hurd right here.
Michelle Hurd.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think she
yeah.
was on like Star Trek Picard,
Oh yeah,
and
you're right. Yeah,
she's been in a few things.
yeah,
Uh but how about watching on the movie for research? Yeah, maybe.
yeah. Oh
It's one of those things where the suspension of disbelief really gets difficult.
yeah, it's
And
her next. We're not joking.
okay, so I guess a blanket statement that I'm going to make, and I'll pick up the narrative here for you, Chris. It's get together, misunderstanding, leave, get back together through, they come up with a plan because the boyfriend is in town, thanks to the helicopter parents. Uh,
Oh yeah,
and
for you here. I found the clip for you real quick. It's here. He
go
is.
for it, buddy. Go
So
for it.
there he is.
Got it?
Yep. Yeah. So that's so. But they showed. Oh shit. Sorry.
You didn't show
Uh,
anything.
yeah. God damn it.
Technical difficulties. This is why the bar is set so low. We keep the because if the bar is not low enough with our movie review,
Here we go.
trust and believe we will
Like you
lower
said,
the bar.
from the director of Easy A and Friends with Benefits. Here's the
Ooh, God.
here's the fiance.
I go from 6 to midnight whenever
Look
I
at
hear
that.
your voice like that.
So is it like we just got together?
Like you said, it's like there's very low indication that that guy is wow.
Right. Yeah. He's gonna compete with Glenn Powell like you could compete with me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
I'm fine
crazy.
with that.
But yeah, no, so they come up with a plot together. They're like, because the family wants them to kind of get along, maybe even hook up.
Jonathan.
So they stop acting like douchebags and ruining the wedding. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. So I'll buy that. But then,
It's funny how they do it too. Remember the fucking parents they're talking pretty
oh
loud.
Jesus,
Oh God, like,
oh my
Beatrice
God,
really cares about Ben. Ben's
oh
really sorry what he
God,
said.
so bad. It's so cringy. It's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
terrible. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so
yeah.
they come up with the plot of, hey, listen, we don't really like each other, but you know what? I don't want to be saddled with my ex, Soy Boy. You want to get your ex's attention away from her, meat puppet of a Australian douche waffle. So let's pretend like we're together, and then I can, because what that does is that'll shut a guy down, especially a soy cuck, and then
Yeah.
it'll intrigue a woman because there's nothing a woman wants more than a man that
Almost-
belongs to another woman.
Yep.
So that's actually pretty clever. And then they're just like, and then, you know, hilarity ensues as they
Yeah.
keep trying to make everybody believe that they're actually together,
that's
in a
it,
bunch of different plot devices.
right here. They're trying to set the rules, and he's trying to understand. He's like, "We've been sneaking around. We had to
Sneaking
fake it."
Let's
And
just be affectionate. Showtime.
yeah,
Permission to put my left hand on your right buttock.
Granted.
so shit.
Nah,
So, like you were saying, she's they're trying to for everybody, they're trying to fucking fake it and stuff, and act like they care about each
Right.
other and everything.
Fake
So
it till you make it. And so that's basically the very, very slim plot of this movie. I don't mind it because I mean there's definitely a lot more low rent ideas for it's definitely a lot of these, you know, you got Easy A, which is, you know, she's pretending to be a slut so she can help out her friends. You have Friends with Benefits, they're pretending to just have sex like it doesn't mean anything so that they can get over their exes. And then you have the cheerleader one, FU Fired Up, where they're pretending to be, which is actually my favorite of the Will Gluck movies.
yeah,
They're pretending to be male cheerleaders because they want to get laid. That actually
Yeah.
is like the best point or whatever. But yeah, so it's probably the weakest of all those plots, but whatever, it works. And you have a situation in which with this movie, if you enjoy Glenn Powell and you like Sydney Sweeney, and you can sort of just ignore everything else, that's how dependent it is on whether or not you're going to like this movie. I mean,
Mhm.
really, that's it. Like, if you like those two actors, you like the chemistry that they put off, which really is good. And if you can just enjoy that, then you can completely ignore the rest of the stuff. You'll enjoy this film for what it is. If you can't, if wokeness really like just sticks in your craw, because there was a couple times when I just rolled my eyes. The whole her getting just like it sneaks it in. The whole her getting on her laptop and it's like you know, for her college, and it's, you know, what are your pronouns, she,
Mhm.
her, and I'm just like, dude, why? Why
Oh
is
yeah,
that necessary? And then everything that happens with, you know, the brother, he's so obnoxious. Everything out of his mouth is fucking terrible. The
yeah,
sister, I don't actually even mind that much. But then I don't believe that her and the white girl
yeah,
together, be sister. I don't believe them together at all. Like, this is just so. But
yeah.
the scenery is very pretty.
Mm.
And the two of them together in their moments when it's just them are really good. And I sort of dig the Australian girl. She was pretty good. I enjoyed
Yeah.
her performance, and I found her fairly attractive and believable.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I mean, it's one of those, will they, won't they? Are they together? Are they not together? It does subvert it by having them, you know, like each other at the beginning and then hate each other. And then later they get together and then they fall apart. But so, I mean, you know, it goes by pretty quick. It's not a long movie, and it's definitely one of those things. So, that's where I come out on it.
I did like the joke where, because up to this point, let's see, where they go out, they swim out to the boat. He
Ooh,
slaps him in the dick. But
yeah.
like, just that joke where he's all out of freaking breath and stuff, and she's like, "How the
Yes.
hell? How
Yes.
you?" She's like, "How the hell do you have a 10 pack and you're out of fucking breath?" He goes,
Yeah.
"I just, I can bench 300 pounds." And she's like, "You have a freaking hot girl body." But I busted out laughing because I actually have
That
met
is
guys
great.
though. There are
Yes.
some guys out there though. These guys, dude,
Yeah.
I can bench 400 pounds.
Yeah.
But okay, you ask them to
Yeah.
fucking jog 5 feet, and they're like, "Dude, I'm so
Yeah.
tired." Like, how are you this fucking big? And you can fucking leg press
Yeah,
900
I think she
pounds.
says you're a hot girl fit.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's actually, not only is that a running joke in the movie, but it's a running theme where Sydney Sweeney gets some of the best lines. Now, her being the big star in the movie and the fact that she's an executive producer, that is not a surprise. But yeah, she has some really good digs at him, some really great lines. And the stuff that they do is not so wildly. I've seen other romantic comedies where, you know, they do something gross to kind of, you know, try to get a cheap laugh. All of the stuff they do seems at least within the realm of believability. I do know people who have fallen off boats on like harbor cruises and shit like that. I have seen that. Usually they're drunk, but like, you know, all that kind of stuff, I kind of dig it. I'm there for it. a lot of it's a little on the it's not like Wedding Crashers ridiculous, but it definitely dips its toe in that direction.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're right. That line is great. She gets a
yeah.
surprisingly
Well,
large amount of lines, and for the people,
yeah,
I did hear somebody say, they didn't understand that Hollywood doesn't understand what to do with Sydney Sweeney. I don't believe that's true at all. I think that of the Euphoria people, yes, Zendaya is in everything, but you know what? Zendaya's not a bad actress, but she's definitely not as good to be being put in everything. I think Sydney Sweeney shits all over Zendaya. I think she's much better actress, especially after seeing her HBO mini movie that she did recently. I and of seeing of the other stuff that she's done, I definitely think she's the better of the two actresses. But and it,
yeah,
I definitely think that she's going to be a big noise because she's pretty versatile. I think Glenn Powell sort of is. I have not seen Hitman, but I think he's definitely sort of typecast as the good-looking kind of dickhead. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. He doesn't have to be John Malkovich. For what he is, I find him pretty enjoyable.
yeah. I found the scene right here. So when they're doing the whole like trying to fake caring about each other, there's this whole funny scene with the friggin' him rubbing her ass, and then at one point she friggin' puts her hands down the back of his pants, and she's like,
Yeah,
"Are you wearing underwear?" He goes, "No, it's a swimsuit." Next, it's like he's like, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "You stuck your finger in my ass."
yeah,
But
yeah.
and
That was
she's like,
a
"What's
little
going on? Do you
much.
have a mole or something?" And like, no, there's a mole. There's not a mole. Look, there's a freaking spider. There we go. Yeah, and he ends up freaking naked. So, oh god, what an idiot.
If you are a
Yeah.
fan of any of the side actors in this movie, you're not going to be happy. Dermot Mulroney comes off as just a big
Mm,
doof. All of these other people, I mean, I don't really know most of them. I knew who Alexandra Shipp was, but I mean, other than that, I don't really know anybody that was in this film. But all these people are like straight up NPCs, and they are so obnoxious.
yeah, there's
I
because he was
Go ahead.
butt fucking naked, he had to put on her underwear. Do you see right there? Fuck, he's got like her. It looks like a speedo on him because he
Yeah.
didn't want to run out naked. But
And
yeah,
then they have to kind of play it off like, "Hey, what's happening?" They're like, "What's happening with you
yeah,
guys? Like, what is happening?"
yeah. So, yeah, well, it's funny too with just more comedy when they come back. Margaret's her boyfriend there, the hot Australian guy. He's taking a shower outside. He's talking about Sam being up in his ass and his crack and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's just butt naked, no fucks
Yeah.
given. He's talking
And
to
then
him.
yeah, and then we get a dick shot in this movie. I'm like,
True.
Jesus, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
need to
like
see
he's
a
actually
random dick in this
he's
movie.
squeezing
God,
his dick and showing it to friggin' Ben. They gives him a fucking hug, and you're like, "It's Australians for you, I guess." Like,
boundaries, Australia. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is, after just recently binge watching Mister In Between, seeing all this like beautiful scenic shit of Australia. I'm like, damn, dude. It's too bad that they have all those freaking restrictions about felons and they make you get vaccinated if you go down there or whatever. So I'm
yeah,
actually sort of surprised that wasn't shoehorned in the movie. Like, oh, I got to stop by the doctors and get a quick fax before I go down to Australia because
yeah,
that's mandatory. I'm really shocked that didn't happen.
yeah.
As much woke shit as was in this, I was like, Jesus, man.
There's some comedy right there where they go to their freaking rehearsal dinner, and these two get into a friggin' fight because with the whole charades thing, and he's cheating with
Yeah,
the firework, and she gets pissed off, and then they
yeah,
start fighting, and they forget one up lighting up a firework.
yeah.
Yep, they fucking
That was
start a whole party.
actually, of all the ridiculous shit, that was actually pretty believable
Yeah,
because I've actually seen YouTube videos where that has happened. So that was
yeah,
actually pretty believable as far as that
yeah,
goes. I mean, everybody in this movie is like ultra rich. They have, these are like really rich people that don't have any real problems. I mean, I think the biggest problem in this is that she's dropped out of law school that her parents were paying for. Like, oh, boo
hmm,
hoo.
yeah,
So, everybody's got a lot of money. Everybody's hyper good looking. All the places they stay, so it's one of those things where you really kind of it's all a lot of beautiful scenery with a lot of like, just flashed out, scenes. There's nothing really dark or ominous. There's nothing really even remotely realistic. I mean, I think maybe the most
Mhm.
realistic thing is the sex scene in the middle of the movie. I think that
Yeah.
one came off like really realistic.
Well,
And
see, they
go
they
ahead.
have to attend the rehearsal dinner, and of course, when she's walking onto the boat, Ben's getting like the slow motion and stuff, and the music's changing.
Yes.
You can tell it's like
Yeah.
that's the vibe. But I mean, another little comedy scene where fucking she asks friggin' Ben to hug her, and she's like, "Do a Titanic with me." What? Do a Titanic?
Titanic me.
Are they watching?
Are they doing Titanic?
They're gone. Show's
Yep.
over.
They try and make everybody fucking jealous.
Yeah.
And of course, what happens? She falls in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of a little nice scene where because what happens is Ben's a shitty swimmer. He jumps in, goes to save her because you're expecting that, and they're saying they can't turn the boat around because it's too shallow of water, so they have to swim out to the buoy. And of course, and she's like, well, Margaret was looking at you. You should be happy. And he goes, yeah. What about Jonathan there? And she's like, well, he's like, he didn't jump in for you. And she goes, well, you didn't give him a chance to. And he's like, well, why are you always defending him for? And she's like, well, he's a better man you'll ever be. He goes, okay, if he's a better man, why did you break up with him?
Yeah.
But,
No fire. That's why.
yeah, she says that. She's like, it was no. Her exact words were like, me and him never fought.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's always nice.
You got to get a woman wants a little toxicity, baby. That's what they want. They got to have it. They got to have it. If you're too nice,
Apparently,
you're too
yeah.
vanilla. I mean, tell them,
Yeah,
Chris.
I know,
Like,
definitely.
yeah. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do if you're too nice and you
Yeah.
treat them right? What are they
Want
gonna
to
do?
bang one of their coworkers? Don't worry.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
and we get to hear
That's the thing. You have to kind of treat women like shit. You treat them like shit, and you keep them because women don't understand. We're gonna go off script a little bit,
oh,
okay?
Jesus.
Because I'm gonna try to help. I'm gonna try to help people. Now, yes,
No.
do I like romantic comedies? Yes, but I also like science fiction. Am I saying that it's the same thing? No, but what I am saying is that neither one of them is super believable. You have to suspend disbelief. But if you want to talk
Nothing
about
little about
something,
you.
you're goddamn right. Um, what I want to help out people who watch stuff like this. Why is this guy so appealing? Forget the fact that he has a 10-pack and he's super good looking. He has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. Okay, forget about that. It's because he's kind of a dick. You got to
Yeah.
be kind
He
of a
definitely
dick,
is.
and you have to keep women in a state of chaos. Because if things are normal and she's content, women's little, spider brains will start looking around, and they won't be. They're never satisfied. So you got to give a little bit of attention. You got to be romantic. Oh my God, he did Titanic. He bought me flowers. Oh my God, he bought me food when I didn't even ask. Blah blah blah. And then you got to pull it away and fuck one of their friends, and just basically treat them like shit. And then don't answer any of their calls or
You
texts
know,
for like a week or so.
it does
That's what
happen.
you got to do. Got it.
So many rom-coms that happens too.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So if you watch this movie, Ben keeps Beatrice in a state of chaos. As soon as they
True.
come together, he pulls away. Now it's played for the fact that he is insecure about a couple things. He's got trauma from his mom, blah blah blah. That's what they're saying on the surface, but what it really is, it's a tutorial on how to deal with a smoking hot 9, bombshell of a blonde with huge cans. That's how you have to treat somebody like that, because if you don't, then what you're going to wind up getting is them shitting all over you. Because the only other time that he showed that he actually loved a woman and like wanted to treat her was the Australian bombshell chick, and then she ripped his ass apart and decided to go off with Crocodile Dundee. So
he's not wrong.
that's exactly how that happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, I'm sorry to say this. I wish it wasn't like this, but drawing him a picture of a kitty and giving him sweet good morning texts, all that does is make them start looking around for a toxic asshole who wakes them up by saying, "Hey, what's up, slut? Answer the phone. I know you're looking at your phone." So, hey, for that, I'm all for it. And that is what I will say is great about this film. This film is very dependent on how much you like the two leads. If you can like them a lot and ignore all the other really bad shit in this movie, you will have a good time.
He speaks slow enough. Don't worry.
If you do not, like, if you don't, like, 100% love these two actors, love the chemistry that they present, which is 100% believable. If you don't, you're not going to have a good time. Go ahead and pass this thing on by. Go watch
later on.
Something else.
Later on, it does get said by well, we'll get to that after the wedding. But so right here, they first they're out to the buoy. They get airlifted, and of course, we have to hear Unwritten again because why not?
Yeah,
so
we
yeah,
do.
and okay, so they get back from the harbor police and stuff. They and as Lord Toxic said, we're almost halfway through the movie, and we get this scene right here. I mean, I can show it on YouTube, but they want to.
It's still pretty amazing.
Yeah, they want to bump and uglies, to say the least. So
yeah, they do.
Because
listen, even
they want
her
taking a shower.
Her soft sex scenes that she does in movies like this,
yeah,
and White Lotus, and in The Voyeurs, even her soft core sex scenes are better than almost anything that you're going to find on Pornhub, for sure.
But what's funny is, so they wind up having sex, right? And she wakes up. Once he do, they keep her noise in the background. He gets up and he leaves. And then she wakes up, and I part of me just did love the whole look on her face, like, wow, it sucks, huh? When you wake up and somebody you cared about just up and fucking left in the middle of the night.
And right, and what did he do? What did he do there, Chris? Did he make her happy and wake up with her content, or did he wake up and make her upset?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she was upset.
And what did that do? Did that make her like him less or like him more?
Like him more.
There you go. You're learning.
Well, because what happens when they were talking, like you said, going back to how things circle around, he's getting flashbacks from Margaret and she's like, oh, I've been so happy, had a great day, but she's like, oh, I just feel like everything I do feels like a mistake. And right there, he's just like, wait, hold up a second. It's like, I just banged you, chick, and now you're saying I'm a fucking mistake, and it's all a mistake. That's why he up and left for her. So
right. It's a lot of misunderstandings between these two. They don't know how to communicate their shit properly.
Yeah.
It's very When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Will they want it? It really actually kind of follows, if I'm being honest, with the exception of the huge time frame thing, like, because When Harry Met Sally takes place over 30 years, and with the exception of the fact that they try to be friends, it does sort of follow the template of When Harry Met Sally a little bit, because they wind up hooking up, and then you think, that's where it should end. Nope, it's still got 30 more minutes in the movie left. So
that's why, because upcoming next was funny where said Ben's walking with his friend there, and he's talking about Beatrice. He's like, oh, she's a great dude. He's like, but I kind of like Margaret, and he's like, I'm not sure. And of course he goes, hey, stop with that white boy shit, man. He's like, you get lost in your own feelings, dude. And I'm like, it's just funny yet again, dude. You have to keep saying, like, stop with the white boy shit. But okay, because I had to write it down.
They could have just completely fucking removed him, and that would have been fine, because they could have just played up Storm from X-Men being his best friend, which apparently she's supposed to be. She's supposed to have been, like, he grew up with her as his best friend, and that's sort of believable, believe it or not. That's one of the more believable things of the thing. You could see a situation in which he grew up with, this moderately attractive black female lesbian as his best friend.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. It would have checked all the boxes, and it would have made it a lot more interesting. And she's definitely the better actor. I don't know who the fuck this Gata guy is, but he sucks.
Yeah, I could tell you one thing. Like, you could actually take his character out of the film and would change nothing.
Remove it completely and give all his lines to the sister, and that would have, if I had written this movie, that's what I would have done. He's effing terrible. Just
because right there, Alexandra Shipp, she's not she's an American actress and singer. She's not bad looking. She was in Barbie, and they said from X-Men Storm.
Yeah,
so
we all know how much you love Barbie.
Oh, boy, anyway, but so and after that, so then we have this scene between Margaret and fucking Beatrice. And Margaret, like you said, toxic. She goes to the whole like, hey, so what's going on with you and Ben? Things are kind of like, she says, it's kind of situational. And she's like, well, would you mind if I tried it with him? Well, I thought you had a boyfriend. It's not that serious. She's like, but you know what?
Oh,
maybe I made a mistake by letting Ben go.
Strange how a chick shows no interest until another hot chick wants you. Then that chick wants you.
And boy, Beatrice called that shit out though. It's like women.
She did.
Women are women.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's one thing a hot chick will know. She'll know what another hot chick will want.
And say they did have the next part was a pretty good exchange because she comes out, Beatrice, and her parents are like, hey, so what's going on? Why'd you quit college for? What do you mean? Why'd you not quit college? And then she comes out and she tells Ben, she's like, what, you told them? He's like, I didn't tell anybody. What are you talking about? And oh, he told his best friend, the black dude, and the black dude told his cousin, and the whole
Ugh, he
telephone game. And
sucks.
but it came
God,
to
he sucks.
a big fucking fight between these two. Like they were just again just going back and forth at it. Like she's so pissed off. Like, I can never be with anyone who's like who's bad as you and stuff. And like, you're not the one for me. We're faking this entire thing. And she's throwing all this shit at Ben, but Ben's going back and forth. And at least in that point, he's like, hey, listen, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I know my damn best friend was gonna run his fucking mouth and tell everybody, but
Right.
still
And
at
again,
that,
why is that guy his best friend? It shouldn't be his best friend. The girl should be the lesbian black female should be his best friend. At least she has some fucking common sense. That would, again, man, please, they should have just
Yeah.
removed that guy. He sucks.
yeah. Yeah, and after that we get to the wedding, the fucking wedding with, let's see. This part was the boat right here, but I'll share this for you guys. They take it up a notch.
Nice touch.
Nice dress. Oh no.
But yeah, so of course the wedding comes out and everyone can see it coming. Finally, Ben is dancing with Margaret and stuff, and then next Margaret, she kisses Ben. It's funny, like he just gives that like weird looking face, like he doesn't want to kiss her. And what happens with Beatrice? She looks over and she sees Ben and Margaret kissing. She's like all crying her eyes. Oh, I can't do this no more. I just want to like have alone time. And what does Ben do? And definitely the third act. The third act is where, I mean, it's obviously a rom com. It's formulaic, but like it's really that's when we start getting to the really bad, cheesy, over the top bullshit where it's like, you know what, Margaret, I was holding on to a memory of you, and just this is gonna work out. And he's looking over, he's seeing Beatrice run away, and I found someone else and somebody I just had this fire for. And of course, the lesbian couple here in the background, like, you know what? Even when these two are arguing, it's the happiest she's been in a long time. So almost like what you were saying, the whole time they were bickering, a whole fucking weekend, or going back and forth, she was happy. So when she was
Exactly.
had her fiance, fucking Jonathan there, the safe guy, the guy who didn't cheat on her, didn't beat her, took care of her. She was bored and she broke up with him. And then
Right.
the happiest she's ever been is when she's with this guy and they're constantly fucking bickering and going back and forth,
Who
insulting
is
each other.
toxic?
It's
This guy
toxic.
who is
It's like,
toxic.
boy, that says a lot.
I mean,
So-
if you can look at this movie as like a tutorial on how to treat and be with a fucking smoking hot bombshell chick who's sort of messed up in the head, if you can look at it from that point of view
I mean,
and just enjoy the pretty scenery, this is
Yep.
actually a really good movie. Of course, it's not going to be
Yeah.
advertised like that.
I did it, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, yes, it did.
RR.
Our buddy. Merry Christmas, Chris. Hope it's full of big tips and quiet passengers for you. Drive safe. Well, tomorrow, our Christmas, we will be on Stepenzo's channel doing a 20-hour Godzilla stream.
Oh, God help us. God help
But-
us.
No, I love you, dude. Thank you so much. And I mean, yeah, we're almost done talking about because there's not much more to talk about.
No,
Um,
there's not much to this movie.
I mean,
it's certainly not War and
yeah,
Peace or The
definitely.
Godfather.
No, thanks,
Ugh.
Richard. I love you, man. Yeah,
Merry
so of course,
Christmas, Rich, by the way.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, so it comes down to what's he do? Well, there's a running joke constantly fucking with the coffee. He takes some coffee and he's like, "Where'd Beatrice go? Oh, she ran away. We can't find her. I think I know
Yeah.
where she is." So he sprints and jumps off the fucking cliff. Now, of course, like you said, it's a rom-com. He has the harbor police pick him up with the helicopter. Hey, I need a
Right.
favor because I'm sure Australian helicopter rescue people are just going to give you a fucking airlift.
Yeah,
to
they're just sitting
to your-
around waiting. Yeah,
Yeah.
to do that. By the way, anybody that's been to Australia or is Australian that's watching this, can you
All
leave
three
a
people.
comment? Is there? Yeah, I know, right? Is there
Yeah.
such a thing? Is there coffee like super fucking strong? Is that
Really,
a
that's a
thing?
running joke. Nick's, I'm not sure, but Enzo, he wants to go over every Godzilla from the past 70 years. So it's gonna be a long fucking stream. But yeah, so of course what happens, like the whole speech. So yeah, so the fuck Australian helicopter drops him off. He sees her out there, the music's swelling, it's all beautiful. He's running his ass off, and of course he goes up to her. And of course, you have the 2-minute speech about, and it's just like Wes would say, the
Yeah.
cringe in the dialogue. I'm telling myself that I get it, it's a rom-com, but like I
Right.
wish I could show the speech because every word you're like, part of my soul's dying. Where it's every cliche I've seen for the past
Right. It's the
35
When
fucking
Harry
years.
Met Sally, New Year's
Yeah.
Eve. It's the Friends with Benefits, Mob Bomb that he does,
Yeah,
with Closing Time. Closing Time, that seems to be a theme with Will Gluck films where they have the one song that they keep repeating. So Closing Time is the one in Friends with
Yeah,
Benefits.
because it's so
Pocket Full of Sunshine is Easy A.
Yeah.
It's that final speech of why we should be together.
Yes, I mean, I took notes where he just said he's like the whole like, I love when we fight, how we go back, and she's like, oh, I was just scared that you would regret things, and well, I thought you were scared, and friggin' like he's like, I apologize, it was all my fault because since day one, the way I handled things, it was my fault for being overreactive. Like, well, dude, you were kind of pissed off because she fucked you over first, but it's got to be the whole like she's apologizing, but he's apologizing more. It's like I'm still kind of siding with Ben in a sense because she did fuck you over, dude. I mean, you did hold a grudge for a while, but still, she kind of, she never once apologized. During this film, did she ever once say, "I'm sorry for fucking just basically, just ditching you"?
I
Of
don't
course
think
not.
she. I
Yeah,
don't think she
because
did.
he apologizes a
I
lot
think
in
she
this movie.
explains it to her sister,
Yeah,
but I
but
don't
she never says,
think.
Ben, I'm sorry for waking up and fucking you
Yeah,
over. And he's
I don't think
constantly,
she does.
yeah. So, and of course, and at the end, they have to make out and stuff, and they're all happy, and they're playing Unwritten again. And then when the end credits are rolling, they're doing blooper reels, and they're basically playing Unwritten over and over and over again for 5 minutes as the credits are rolling. And I'm like,
Ugh. Yeah,
I,
the credits were rolling and my eyes were fucking rolling. I was just like, all right, I get it, but man, come on, guys. Like, this is not. Ugh. And it's
trust
like,
me,
listen, every character in this, except for Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney,
copyright want to play, but I can't. So,
yeah, just Unwritten. Just Google it. Like, but you've
feel
already
the
heard it a
rain on
million
your
times.
skin. No one else can.
Yeah, go to a dentist's office. It's playing in the background somewhere. But everybody except for Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney are just cringe and unwatchable in this movie. So make of that what you will. But like
Yeah,
I said, if you can look at it as a dating tutorial for hot people, how to
yeah,
treat a hot chick and keep her in her place,
yeah,
and you can just watch the magnetic chemistry of these two. I truly believe I know both actors are married or at least involved with other
mm,
people. I'm gonna say it right now. This is Lord of Toxicity's prediction. These two wind up doing another movie together and or wind up together, a la
yeah,
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because
yeah.
their chemistry is off the fucking charts.
These two have good chemistry. They do good playing off each other. I will admit that. I mean, said the supporting cast, and not so much, but these two,
Overall,
they carry
what
the
is your
film.
yeah, they definitely have to carry the film. Overall,
Yeah.
what's your opinion, buddy?
I mean, it's hard to like. I hate for us doing rating systems because that's why I said with my three questions, I'm
Sure,
not going
sure,
to make the
sure,
same.
sure.
But like, it
Let's
got so
do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna do it right now. So this is how we're gonna rate a movie. Since this is the low bar movie review,
because
is
everyone
it
used to do like
well,
a thumbs up, thumbs down, one
yeah,
out of 10, two out of 10. Like, you know what I mean?
is it below the bar? Is it
How
right
about?
at the bar? Or does it exceed and go over the bar?
I mean, for a rom-com, I think it's right where the bar is at, for a rom-com. Now,
Okay.
in terms of comedy, I can say I never one time ever laughed out like, just kind of like, it's kind of cute,
Okay.
or it's kind of, I
Okay.
did have some chuckles, and people in the theater, I didn't hear anybody in the theater like roaring with laughter. It was just chuckles,
Hmm.
because as I said before, we're talking on Facebook that comedy now has become so safe. Like, think about it. The only real comedy moments in this film is what him getting naked, those two fucking, him getting naked, some more white people jokes. Besides, there's nothing besides him getting naked and having a spider up his ass. Besides that, like, where's the actual like laughter? They don't,
Yeah.
it's like that. That's what I said. Comedy now, it's either cracking on white people, masturbation jokes, or just like different sexual position jokes, or smoking pot and jerking off. Because
Yeah.
that's all that's left to joke about. You can't make fun of fat people or black people, or like there isn't a single. You have a lesbian wedding, right? Why isn't there a single like lesbian joke for?
Yeah.
It's non-existent. It's just the whole film. If you want to have a rom com with sex jokes, that's it. So,
Would you
um,
recommend someone to spend their hard-earned money on this movie?
fuck no, I wouldn't.
No, really? Oh wow, wait for streaming, huh?
I mean,
Wait for streaming.
if you are a huge rom-com, want to take your girlfriend and get laid, but then again, to your girlfriend, honestly, no, because if I brought a girlfriend, she'd look at me and be like, you know what? After seeing what Glenn Powell did to her, we're breaking up.
Oh wow.
Because let's be honest,
Oh,
because it's like, because come on, at a fucking Ben or Jonathan, I'm Jonathan, you're Ben, so let's just call it what it
sure,
is.
sure, 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 sure. All right. Well, so I am gonna say as far
Wait
as
a
my low
See
bar.
see, something about Mary, that's a fucking, like, people I know were crying laughing. That's a comedy right there.
Yeah. I've also seen people walk out of that movie though too, to
Because
be
it's
fair.
so wrong. I mean, come on, she puts fucking cum in her hair,
Apocalypse
like
Now. Yeah, Apocalypse Now is definitely a underrated movie. Um okay,
I
so
would I would go sailing, buddy.
yeah, I would definitely say for our rating system, this is slightly above the bar, only because of the incredible uh magnetic quality that Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell have.
Mm.
I would be willing to bet my car payment that they have hooked up and or will hook up and or are hooking up currently. I believe them 100% as a couple. I would also say that, you know, I've enjoyed them in other projects. I look forward to them in future projects. So for me, it was worth it. Would I recommend you spend your hard-earned money? You know what? I'm going to say, yeah, if it's a date movie, if you are going on a date with your significant other, whoever that happens to be,
Mm.
and you guys want to watch something cute and go have fun, I think you could do a lot worse. As far as laughing out loud, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with my esteemed partner here and say I actually laughed out loud several times in this movie. I laughed out loud at the whole drying your pants thing only because I've literally done that myself.
Mm.
I laughed out loud at a lot of her dialogue that she did as far as, you know, the hot your hot girl fit. I laughed out loud at the part where you know, it looked like she was jerking him off in the plane scene, and
Yeah,
then the other
her
chick is
her
just
sweater
like,
was stuck,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, she's just like, you know, the other chick sitting next to him is just like, you know what, I paid for my seat, I don't give a shit what you guys are
Mm.
doing, and just puts her eye mask back down. I laughed out loud. I think Glenn Powell he's not as good as Sydney Sweeney as far as the physical humor, but he definitely goes all out, you know, with the whole, you know, throwing his big scared of spiders and throwing his clothes off the cliff. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, that's something that I might do. And then her
Mm.
whapping him in the balls.
Yeah. I mean, I
This
was
is
chuckling, you know?
this is not one of those movies where um they blow their wad with all of the stuff in the trailer. And it's what I was so thankful for is the stuff in the trailer is all in the movie, where I get so sick of seeing trailers uh for movies, and then like you're like, hey, where's the part I saw in the trailer? And it's not there. Everything that's in the trailer is actually in the movie. So I did enjoy that. So I'll give this as like a little slightly above the bar in my low bar movie reviews. I'll give it that slightly above, only because I'm feeling generous.
I
It's the
mean,
holidays, and I have a soft spot for Sydney
he's not
Sweeney.
wrong. See?
Well, listen, Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney, when
Well,
you
that's
and
like
Glenn Powell break up and you need some other guy to treat you like dog shit and cheat on
yeah.
you and make you feel like less of a person, I'm the guy. Call me,
Well, that's why
baby.
I seen, like, watching film with Chris Gore. Chris liked it, like, as you did, but his buddy said that he preferred, No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. That one, the fucking beach scene,
Oh yeah, it's
that one,
it's
I busted out laughing with that. Like,
yeah, it's
Jennifer Lawrence
nowhere
suplexing
less.
people while
Yeah,
naked, like, that's fucking hilarious.
yeah, it is
So,
nowhere near as no, 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 no. Like, yeah, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell are great. And Jennifer Lawrence has her problems. You know, it's really hard to be the first female action movie star.
oh, yeah.
But I will tell you what, they don't have anything on Jennifer Lawrence because
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence can really do comedy. So
Well,
and plus the young kid that Jennifer Lawrence was with in that movie, he's actually
yeah.
really funny too. So yeah, this is if you're thinking you're gonna see something as good as No Hard Feelings, this ain't it. This is not
Yeah.
it for sure. I will
That's
tell
what I
you
would
that
say
right
for me, like, in terms of spending money, if I had, a girlfriend, it's like, "Hey, honey, I wanna go spend $40 in this film." I at least
now.
if I wanna be, like, laughing out loud and, like, at least with No Hard
Yeah, I hear you.
Feelings
I hear that.
when I was with my at the time, for my girlfriend, we both walked out No Hard Feelings, and she's like, "Chris, that was fucking funny," and I did have
Yeah.
fun with that. Listen, this one, I didn't hate it, I just said it's chuckles. It's for me, it is a good streaming service thing or a matinee, but, like I said with
Yeah.
my review system, man, right now, if I bring someone to see this film, I'm blowing 40 fucking bucks just on tickets.
Yeah.
God forbid you want a soda or popcorn, man. If I'm gonna blow
Right.
50 fucking dollars on a film, I want to be, like, roaring laughing, not just like,
I hear
"Eh,
you.
it's,"
I hear you.
says, Chris, who the fuck is this guy you're streaming with? He's making intelligent points and talking total sense and hasn't mentioned shooting people in prison.
I have many layers like an onion. I am more than just shooting people.
Listen. Well, it's funny how like, you kind of like criticized but also praised it and at the same time, but like Jennifer Lawrence is the first, yeah. That's what I said. I think no, for a rom-com, I think it's a very safe and predictable because like you said, the entire third act, like you could write it with a fucking crayon, the third act.
Oh,
and that's
for
why,
sure.
like, you know,
for sure.
Because even like we'll say John Wick 4 action film, John Wick 4, at least the ending, I didn't see the ending coming. Like it's rom-coms do get predictable, but for a rom-com, I think it's right at the bar. Like it's not like I didn't hate it or nothing, but I really miss comedies like Richard mentioned. Come on, Something About Mary, Tropic Thunder. I miss going to a
Apocalypse
theater.
Now, yeah,
Apocalypse
for sure.
Now,
for
definitely. I mean,
sure.
Schindler's List, exactly.
Schindler's
Like
List.
I want to go laugh at a movie, right? So if I'm gonna have a good laugh, I want something like that. This was I did like the chuckling. I chuckled. You know, I didn't hate it, but I'd recommend it. But hey, we have Redbox for $1.20 or something.
Right.
So
You would recommend it, but you wouldn't recommend somebody going out to the theater and paying money and seeing
especially
it,
during
right?
Christmas time, man. Because people got fucking.
I hear you.
You got shit to buy. You get shit to buy your kids. It's like right now, I'm buying whiskey for a Godzilla stream tomorrow.
Right.
I'm not blowing a ton of money to fucking chuckle for. Like you said, the thing is, all the jokes you're talking about, they're all sex jokes.
They are. Listen, again, you know, you and I are not going to agree on everything. I think I could sort of sway my opinion towards you. Maybe it just caught me in the right mood. Maybe it's because I'm dating two different chicks at the same time.
Yeah, it's
and so I'm feeling
like,
of.
Yeah, but plus, you know, look at me like so you're more like Ben, you get the girl. I'm more like Jonathan, so I'm more pissed off because
I hear you. I hear you, buddy.
That's why,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
I wanted her to be with Jonathan. If she was with Jonathan, this would be a fucking 10 out of 10 movie. You know, like, that's how
well, there are movies like that. There are movies like that.
Me, yeah.
But yeah, so I do like the fact that the toxic douchebag gets the girl at the end. So
yeah. Me too. Are you sick? We'll get some money. Oh boy.
Yeah, but they're both great. They're both great. Yeah, no, it's definitely listen, you could ask if I had seen this at a different time, I might have been like, fuck this movie. It's a fucking woke piece of shit. And listen, it takes a lot for you know me, man. It takes a lot I don't like woke being misused, but it takes a lot for me to be okay with anything remotely woke.
Yeah.
And this is woke as fuck. But you know what? I enjoyed myself. Am I going to go to the theater and watch it again? Fuck no, I'm not going to do that. But as far as enjoying it on a first viewing at the theater, I'm glad I saw it. And you know me, I have this running thing where I don't know how you do it because I don't. Maybe the theaters are different, but the Regal cinemas that I go to, they have these super comfortable seats. I wound up falling asleep. Like I fell asleep in fucking Oppenheimer during the explosion scenes. So, I mean, just because I get so comfortable and I work myself to death. But this one, I stayed awake through the entire thing. I was engaged through the entire thing. And, you know, I just basically had a good time, man. You know, that's where I say it. So I will leave my review at slightly above the bar. Slightly above the bar.
I'm just like, yeah, we're floating at the bar, but yeah. So I mean, it's definitely something we'll talk about in later streams and stuff. That like I will at some point talk about. I guess like how much woke is too woke and not enough woke. Like I said, it's like I see what you're saying. Just sometimes I wonder that every time we see a gay couple, it's automatically woke, and I'm like, well, I mean, they've had gay weddings in the 80s and 90s, and we didn't call them woke back then. So it's hard to say, man. But
I don't know, man.
It's a very fine line. But that's also the difference is, like I said, comedy back then, you know, you could crack on everybody. Now it's just directed towards one group of people. So
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, I think this is a pretty healthy time, about hour and 15 minutes and stuff. Because like you said, it's a rom-com. There's not much to discuss. This isn't, you know, it's not Oppenheimer. And
I wish that you didn't live in woke New York, and I'm all the way down here in blessed Kansas, and we could actually go to the cinema together like you and Dark Air got to do. That's just not practical. But if there's an opportunity in which you know, we can go to the cinema, my movie theater is like a block away from my house. It's not very difficult. So if
Mm.
we can watch something and do this and you guys enjoy it,
Yeah.
we'll try to do that and give our reviews and listen, we're not going to shill for anything. I'm going to tell you, I feel
No.
like I've been super honest with this, and I definitely know. So at the end of the day, Chris did not enjoy it as much as I did, which is strange. But
Yeah, buddy, we're always trying new stuff out. Like I said, it's just time's always against us. Like you said, the
yeah,
fact of like trying to have everybody watch a film at the same roughly time. Like I said, I got home. I logged in 5 minutes after I got home. So I'm fresh
yeah,
out of the theater, so it's
yeah.
hard for everybody to be in
Very,
the same
very much
time.
serendipity for this. Like we were
Yeah,
very lucky. We'll try not to make such a
yeah,
huge gap. I know it's been a couple months since we did
yeah.
Equalizer 3. Maybe we can go, but it's not actually even our fault because it's not like the movies are actually like
Hmm.
slanging movies out there for us to go
Um,
watch either.
I guess even with the bar, so I mean, not to Rotten Tomatoes matters, but I think for me, just like 86% is kind of high. For me, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm.
So, yeah,
But I did
I
say,
will I will unabashedly simp for Sydney Sweeney and her fun bags, but I stand tall and stand firm on the fact that
yeah.
I think that she is actually a good actress. I
I did
believe
say
that
Nick's
she
off the
is.
bat that if I met her, I would shake her hand and say thank you for what you did in this film because that's why I
Yeah.
didn't hate this film for if
Hey, highlight
you know
his comment where it says to recap.
to recap. Oh, sorry. Is it okay? So to
So to
recap,
recap, it's
hmm,
worth my money in cinema if with significant other, but woke enough to make her pay the ticket. Did I get that right? Yes. Yes, Nix, you have that
sure, yeah,
100% correct, my friend.
you got it, buddy. Yeah. A lot of people
Okay.
would say not everything that's totally woke. It's not always bad. It can be fun sometimes. So
I don't have much else to say besides this. I'm
that's it.
sorry if
No,
I hope that anybody watching this did not watch this with the
yeah,
expectation that we were going to hold anything back. I
yeah,
hope you didn't think that. Listen, almost any review we do, now, of course, Blue Collar has his own channel in which he will give reviews. He may or may not spoil. He's always very good about that. I'm going to tell you that I have no ability to keep things a
mm,
secret and not. So if you listen to anything with me talking about it, I'm going to spoil the fuck out of it.
but
So
also
if you
as we
don't
said,
want that,
this is a rom com. What do you plan on spoiling? I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah, we will lower the bar in
That far
future
we will.
episodes.
So yeah, we will said in the future we'll do this. I'm trying to make a new playlist. We'll make this a new thing, and it's we're always trying to expand and do more things. Like we always say, myself, Enzo, Northern English, Lord Toxic, even Dark Hour. Everybody's busy working. So
Yes, unfortunately, we do not make enough money to get like
yeah,
$700 in
I mean, I
in
mean,
super chats.
I mean, trust me, Richard. I love the $10. I'm not debating that. It helps out, dude. Like it's like I'm not. I'm appreciative for everybody sends me a freaking penny. But yeah, it's not like Critical Drinker making like yeah, like I made 10 grand tonight. Like goddamn,
Right.
bro. Let's see. To be honest, if you go to a rom com like this and you can't figure out the plot after 10 minutes, you're probably a character. It's 100% right, man. No,
Correct.
seriously.
Correct.
But you
Correct,
guys spoiled
Richard.
so many movies for me that I ended up watching. That's why I still hate North English Bastard. Well, we will spoil if you never seen it. We're gonna be spoiling Die Hard 2 in 2 days. So
Yeah, we are.
and we're
Yeah,
gonna be
we are.
spoiling tomorrow, about 35 Godzilla movies tomorrow.
I'm going to
So
be honest. Listen, if you guys are followers of the Stepenzo channel, I'm probably going to be
dude,
on like the
Nick, trust
third
me,
of
I
that
never
stream.
expect nor would ask for anybody to give me like me and this idiot. We're drinking, doing funny shit. I don't want a penny from you, bro. Like Richard, I feel like I need to like if Richard comes over here, I'm gonna have to like give him a massage, cut his nails and stuff, like shave his
Oh,
back.
I
Like,
got to Richard, you show up in Kansas. I got a honey bun for you, buddy.
trust me, I never expect anybody to throw something at me, dude. Like just you chatting, hanging out with us, man. That's payment in
Oh,
itself. Trust me, I mean that. So
all right.
yeah, but you all said so. We'll
Yeah,
see you
I'm
next
good.
time. We'll figure out next
120.
movie. I'm not sure what's gonna be. We'll figure it out.
I
All right.
I I am. I wouldn't mind seeing that Zendaya movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, with her having a threesome, but
Yeah,
poor,
yeah. I'm
Tom
here for
Holland,
it.
you can do better, Tom.
You can do
Sorry.
better, Tom. You
Yeah.
can do better than her. She's putting herself on a spit roast for
Oh
these other
God.
two white guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.